From Studio 3B in Rockefeller Center, here is Jane Pauley.
Good evening. First a flood, then fire, and now the city of Grand Forks, North Dakota stands empty. What officials call a 500-year flood forced the evacuation of nearly all of the city's 50,000 residents. And as if that wasn't bad enough, several blocks of downtown were devastated by fire. What must it feel like to know your city could be next? The only thing protecting the people of Fargo from a similar fate is a dike. But will it hold? Here's Len Cannon with the fight for Fargo in a Dateline minute by minute.
We expect residents to leave voluntarily before they are in an additional emergency situation. The city's water plant has been inundated, leaving the city without fresh water for residents.
It is a flood of almost biblical proportions. The water, the fire, the specter of disease, the widespread destruction. It is a plague of misery besieging much of North Dakota, the floodwaters descending slowly but relentlessly. Until it seems there is no land left to surrender. And the people who live along the Red River know they are witnessing history, the worst flood ever in the state, threatening two of North Dakota's major cities, Fargo and Grand Forks.
I'm just trying to get everything out, so all I have to do is just take myself and I'll be gone.
3:20, Friday afternoon, Fargo Mayor Dennis Furness announces the most important decision of his political life.
We think we have 48 to 72 hours to get ready.
The mayor has a plan. It literally draws a 4.5-mile line in the dirt across Fargo, a dike made of clay and sandbags to hold back the Red River. The river is pushing an 80-square-mile wall of water northward, enough water to swallow a city the size of Baltimore, and the 83,000 people of Fargo are right in its path.
What we're trying to do is save off a potential disaster where the entire city could possibly be flooded.
4 p.m. in the south of the city, Mike Ableiter and his neighbors are listening to the mayor's plan, and what they're hearing is bad news. This is Fargo's last line of defense against the rising waters of the Red River, but it doesn't protect everybody. Everything on that side of the dike would be safe, which includes most of Fargo. But on this side of the dike, more than 300 homes would be left with little protection, exposed to the floods. People over here face the possibility of losing everything in order to save Fargo. The harsh reality is that Ableiter, a computer specialist, and his wife Erica, a teacher, live on the wrong side of the dike, and they don't have flood insurance. They never thought they'd need it.
We want to save our house. We want to help our neighbors. We want to, pull this off.
As bad as things are for the Ableiters, 70 miles north in Grand Forks, things are even worse. Townspeople have been working day and night to dam up the river, swollen from the winter's record 100 inches of snow. Chains of volunteers hoist thousands of sandbags onto the dikes, but just a few yards away, the river is carrying thousands of tons of ice toward the city's defenses.
Right now, it's out of control.
For all the back-breaking effort, Grand Forks is about to be overwhelmed. At daybreak Friday, the flood walls had already begun to give way. Cascades of water sweep aside the hastily built defenses, swamping 300 homes, a school, and a nursing home.
We have not lost any lives in this flood so far, and we desperately want to keep it that way.
Noon Friday, Mayor Pat Owens urges the 50,000 residents of Grand Forks to abandon their homes and flee for their lives.
The mandatory evacuation of the Lincoln Park area. Go to the Civic Auditorium, bring a blanket and a pillow.
Thousands heed the mayor's advice. Many will spend the first of several nights in emergency shelters.
They were a little scared on the way over here tonight, and I just told them, we said a little prayer and told them to keep their chins up.
By Saturday morning, about 60% of Grand Forks' 10 square miles is covered with frigid, sewage-filled water.
You can be in denial if this isn't happening. It's like a bad dream, but it's real.
And things will get worse. Incredibly, a city surrounded by water is about to be engulfed in flames. About 5 p.m. Saturday, fire breaks out in a downtown building. The cause still isn't clear, but officials believe it was sparked by leaking gas or an electrical malfunction.
It was burning so hot and shooting embers and stuff so far that, you know, buildings a block away were starting on fire, the roofs of buildings.
Millions of gallons of water flood the streets, but the firefighters can't use any of it. Their trucks can't make it through the floodwaters. The firemen send divers into the icy water to locate hydrants 5 feet under. They finally hook up their hoses, but there isn't any pressure.
You just had to be there and watch it and try to move with it.
Will they be able to save their city? In Fargo, people spend Saturday digging in. Work has already begun on the mayor's new dike. But 20 blocks away, Mike Ableiter's part of town is being left unprotected and exposed. Ableiter and his neighbors have to decide whether to evacuate or stay and fight for their homes. Their decision? Build their dike. But can they do it in time?
Rather than trying to save homes individually, we're going to try and save our community as a community.
The back-breaking labor goes on day and night. Saturday night, a team from the Army Corps of Engineers arrives to inspect the dike. Their verdict? For all the effort, the dike still isn't high enough. Erica Ableiter, who's already been working 18 hours, is exhausted and now afraid her hard work has been in vain.
We just bought our first house in February. You know, we're pretty proud of it, and it's about to go.
But the volunteers rally and decide they'll work all night to add another 2 feet of sandbags to their dam.
We're continually watching for trouble spots that could erupt, soft spots.
10 a.m., a quickly assembled community meeting. Tired volunteers have now been working 36 hours non-stop to save their homes.
They need everyone up there to form a line, pass the sandbags up.
Work, not evacuation, is on their minds. As Mike Ableiter stacks sandbags, not all the neighbors share his faith the dike will hold.
We just decided that, you know, if that dike does go, there's going to be a lot of traffic in and out, and I just soon get them out now while getting's good.
Others also decide to leave, but most vow to stay, no matter what. And in Grand Forks, here's what no matter what looks like. The fire has been burning all night, destroying the heart of the city. Unable to put the flames out from the ground, firefighters attack from the air. First, planes dump fire-retardant chemicals. Then helicopters unleash a deluge, thousands of gallons of water scooped from the flood itself. Finally, they bring the flames under control, but not before 3 blocks of Grand Forks Business District have been reduced to smoldering ruins. By Monday afternoon, the Red River is running nearly 26 feet above flood stage. Grand Forks is a ghost town. Most of its residents have fled. 90% of it is underwater. An American city has been totally devastated.
What they have endured is enormous. How they are enduring it is remarkable.
1 p.m. today, the crisis in Grand Forks is so bad that President Clinton flies over the area and promises up to $500 million in federal aid. In Fargo, the homes of Ableiter and his neighbors are intact and dry, so far. But the threat hasn't passed. The river may rise even higher. Authorities say there's only a 50-50 chance their dike will hold.
You told me you'd never worked this much in your life, the physical labor involved. Is it really worth all the trouble?
I think it is. We're saving the community. We're saving, you know, people's lives, basically.
We'll stay until the last possible moment. We'll fight it until the last possible moment, and then when it can't be won, then we'll go.
The crest of the flood is slowly moving downriver. All the towns that lie ahead of that wall of water are to the north. Now Canadians are bracing for their turn. Evacuations have already begun.